I want to take a look at the last part of this Song of Moses. And this part's really interesting to me in Exodus 15, starting in verse 14, because it's prophetic. There's a lot of almost prophecy happening in this, things that we're going to see during the time of Joshua and the judges, and even down to the days of David and even to Solomon. So I really, really like this section. So let's start in verse 14. It says, "The peoples hear and tremble. Anguish grips those who live in Philistia. The leaders of Edom are terrified. The nobles of Moab tremble. All who live in Canaan melt away. Terror and dread fall upon them. The power of your arm makes them lifeless as stone until your people pass by, O Lord, until the people you purchased pass by. You will bring them in and plant them on your own mountain, the place, O Lord, reserved for your own dwelling. The sanctuary, O Lord, that your hands have established. The Lord will reign forever and ever." Okay, so Moses and the children of Israel, they understood that the victory that they saw against Egypt was not the only thing that was going to happen. He starts talking here about Philistia. He talks about Edom. He talks about Moab. He talks about Canaan, right? He's talking about all these people groups that are in the promised land. That's who he's speaking about, right? Moab and Edom and some of them are actually outside the promised land, but still they're going to come into conflict with the Edomites and Moabites. So there's prophecy here. And it's even kind of fulfilled over in Joshua. We see when Rahab, the prostitute, hides the spies that Joshua and the Israelites send into Jericho. She actually says in Joshua chapter 2, verse 10, she says, "For we've heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt." So all of these people are going to hear and tremble at what God has done. I mean, as soon as the Israelites crossed over the Jordan River, they started locking up. Right, the Jericho, and they locked the doors, son. Can't have this. So they heard about it and they feared, and their conquest is really prophesied here by Moses. So Moses was very prophetic in this. What's also interesting here is something else that comes up. He talks about in verse 17, "You will bring them in and plant them on your own mountain," right? The place, O Lord, reserved for your own dwelling, the sanctuary, O Lord, that your hands have established. I think here he's talking about Israel, specifically Mount Moriah, where the actual temple will be built, right? David will conquer Jerusalem and set his kingdom there. That will be his throne. Then his son Solomon will actually build the temple. So I think we're seeing here things happening through the books of Joshua, Judges, 1 and 2 Samuel, and even over into 1 Kings. We're seeing these things take place. So God gave Moses a glimpse of the conquest of the temple, of the kingdom. What a good thing. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful passage of Scripture. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you later.